This
Alrighty.
conference will now be recorded.
All right. So to kind of start everything off, we all know our demographic forms are going to be changing. So I kind of made a little PowerPoint presentation for us to kind of go over, as well as I'm going to show the Excel sheet going forward to show the demographic report. So for all those park owners, my name is Krista, and I'm the Education Officer here at the Nevada Housing Division. I'm also joined here with my colleagues. If you guys want to announce yourselves, you're more than welcome to. If not, you can just bypass. But if anybody wants to introduce themselves, they're more than welcome to at this time.
Hi, I'm Kate Mora, and I'm the Program Officer, and I work with the parks as well.
Charles Jackson, Compliance. I work for Housing. I also work with the parks.
Donna Arts, Compliance in the North, and I also work with the parks as well.
My name is Nikki Schmidt. I work here at Carson City Assessor's Office. I'm an appraisal support specialist.
Okay. So thank you all for joining our meeting today. So as you can see, the demographics form has updated due to trying to work with other state and county offices. I have Tim here, who is our Deputy Administrator, who will go into more details on the advantages that this will provide to our parks and the division as well for the tenants. Tim? You there, Tim? I think you're muted, Tim. I can't hear you.
Tim, this is Bob. I'm giving you a quick call.
Okay.
Hello, this is Tim. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, very good. Sorry about that. Well, that might not work out. Okay, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, very good. My apologies. I had to call in. For whatever reason, my audio is not working. Advantages to the parks would be that the homes are, of course, titled to the rightful owners. From a park perspective, this means that if you have a lien on a home, particularly when you have to notice, you do have to notice the owner of the home, not just the occupant, or actually the owner of the home rather than the occupant. So this makes it more efficient for the parks, making sure that you are in fact noticing the proper individual or individuals. Also helps you identify if there's anyone who actually has unlawful possession of a home, or in particular if someone is perhaps illegally subletting a home as well. So again, that helps you identify that as a park owner and park manager. It also speeds up the titling and lien process. So again, speeds up the lien process. It makes sure that you don't go through the process notifying the wrong people, then having to redo everything, spend all the monies again just to complete a single lien. Of course, advantages to tenants. Gives them the legal right to transfer and sell that title. It also protects their financial interest in the home. Protects them from having a home sold out from under them. So particularly if a home is still shown under a previous owner's name in the titling system, we certainly would not want them selling the home out from under them. Also, by having it titled correctly, that means that everybody is able to get on our website and see the information, the titling information there under our title search function. And of course, for an owner who does want to sell their home, it gives them the ability to prove to a potential buyer that they are in fact the owner. As far as advantages to division, we are looking just to straighten this out so that the titling process for people goes much more smoothly. We don't want people coming in here who need double and triple transfers, and then you have a buyer who ends up being stuck with all of those all of those payments, themselves because it wasn't done earlier. Again, just identification of homes that need to be properly titled. That helps us, again, matching up proper owners. It helps make our title search function more accurate. The other piece that actually our investigator down here in the South had mentioned for parks is that because the table, the demographic sheet now will contain all the park information, that actually can also function as an update. So when you fill out your update forms, this could actually take the place of that if you have submitted it in a timely manner. So that's just another advantage to the park as well. So Krista, thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you, Tim. So to get back to that slide, when it comes to this and what to expect from this training is to get a better understanding what this new demographic spreadsheet will entail. By doing a complete walkthrough with you, including examples, we will also go through into detail the different sections through the spreadsheet, so there's no confusion on what it means. We will also give a few key tools that will give you a better insight of what to expect with that given area. So please keep in mind that this is just a recording, so if you have any questions throughout the training, please pause the video, write them down, and we'll answer them later via email, which our new email establishment is going to be parks@housing.nv.gov. And just in case you did miss that, I will show that later on in our contact information. So just a reminder, like always, these demographic reports are due by August 1st of every year. At this time, you park owners will have 6 months to get this done. So please do not wait to the last minute. It's not worth the stress. If for some reason you mess up on it and or lose the spreadsheet, please contact our office and we'll give you another copy. So to be successful with the spreadsheet and to be in compliance with our office, it is best to keep these things in check. First, look at the new spreadsheet. It is quite a bit more detailed than it used to be, as Tim has kind of mentioned already before. However, going forward, this information will be easier to be transferable with fewer changes. Once you're more familiar with what is required by our office, you may either go around your park and or make sure that the data that you have on record matches what we have currently on the system and with the county assessor's office. To check with the county assessor's office, to my assumption, you can use their resources by searching by the address and then defining it more by a space number. You may even look at our website, which you can, let me pull that up too. They'll let me. If not, then I'll just describe it. So you can go to www.housing.nv.gov. At the top, you'll see manufactured housing, which you'll click on. This will bring a drop-down menu, which you'll see titles. Click that, and to the right, you'll see title search. Once you have the information gathered, you should be able to put that into the spreadsheet easily enough. At the end, you'll need to save a copy to your computer and then send a copy to the division's main email, which is, going a little too ahead of myself. Oh, it's not on there. So it's going to be nhdinfo@housing.nv.gov. So at this time, this is kind of what the new demographic form will be looking like. And if you pull the spreadsheet along with us, it might make a little bit more sense for you going forward. As you can see, there's quite a bit more information for you as park owners. We tried to organize it to make it easier for you to follow more conveniently going forward. You will see that there's 3 separate sections which are detailed in 3 different areas. There's going to be parks information, management information, and the space information per lot. This screenshot shows an example of the type of data we will require from you. You'll need to go into more condensed version. We'll be going into a more condensed version on this, so it'll help you going forward. So starting with the park information, this information is pretty easy to follow. Keep in mind that the park number is not the actual phone number that you will list down. This is the number that is associated by the park by the division. You'll also notice that there's a drop-down menu for both the status of the park and the type of park, which I will describe here in a second. So you'll see that it starts with the select option, which you can choose either active or inactive. And for the type of park, you choose family, 55 plus, and 65 plus. And then at the bottom of the section is what you'll have previously seen on demographic reports. The one added bonus that the total lots is added up based off the total vacant lots and the occupied lots. So this is one thing you have to not worry about going forward. Going off the same section, we will also require the number of park homes as well as the number of tenants within the park that are on the lot rent subsidy program with our division. Kate, do you have anything to comment on regarding this lot rent program? Wait, I don't hear you, Kate. Sorry.
Sorry about that. So yes, this spreadsheet is going to assist you in keeping track of your lot rent subsidy tenants. This is going to aid in assisting tenants with new and renewal applications, as the case may be. Because you're going to have all of your information in one place. This is also going to assist you in filling out the manager certification forms, which are a required part of the lot rent subsidy application, as well as the recertification forms that are due March 1st each year. So with all this information in one place, that should make it easier. Thank you, Krista.
Of course. Thank you, dear. So going forward into our presentation, this next session, which is the park management information, is very similar to documents we've already seen in the past. This will be similar to park owner and manager change forms. And this is just to make sure that the park themselves keep the records current with our office, as there are times where parks do not inform us about the changes. Per NRS statute, which is a Nevada Revised Statute 118B.085, our office requires notice of any park owner, manager, and or assistant manager changes within 45 days of that given change. So it's pretty common what to expect in this given section, as kind of described what is seen in the screen. So now this is a little bit different to what you're expecting. This will require a lot more information. Hopefully going forward, you won't have to update this as much as you would have going forward due to the longevity of your residence. As you see in the example, as well as what was explained by Tim previously, this will make a more accurate depiction of information we have versus what you have. This in turn will help other agencies going forward. I know this looks a little intimidating right now, but don't worry, we will go into each step within the next few slides. So to start things off, the space number is the literal number of the lot on the park itself. If by chance a park does not go by lot numbers, you may add the address here instead. The next area, which is the lot, occupied, or vacant section, you'll just need to choose one or the other if there's an actual structure on that given lot. The serial number is the number associated with that given home. If you don't have it on record, you may search the county assessor's website, our website, or the old-fashioned way of walking around the parks to find that information. The serial number can be found in a few different areas on the home, like near the hitch under the house, near a window, or skirting area. If there are multiple sections to the home, for example, a double or triple wide, the label should be on both parts. Lastly, for this section, we want to know the size of that given home. This goes from a single all the way to a quadruple wide lot size. This part of the section pertains to rental and ownership information. If one of the tenants is a renter, you will fill out according to the 118 route, while tenants who own the homes will follow the 118B route. Keep in mind that name of the individuals who own the home section refers to the name that are currently on title with our office, not so much the individuals currently living there. These could be two separate individuals in your records. All right, so in this area is where it's going to get a little bit more confusing. These next two columns pertain to the amount you charge the tenants. If you have renters, you'll see potentially two different areas for the fees. The label lot or dirt amount is just the amount to use the lot itself. If there's a separate fee for the home, then you'll need to include that underneath the unit or box rent. For homeowners, you will simply put the amount they are being charged underneath the unit or box amount section. The next section refers to the charges that are on the top of what is included for the tenant itself. This can include gas, electric, or a combination of several. As explained with this Excel sheet, I'll go a little more detail. You can see that there's several different options, singleized as well as combined. see. So to wrap things up, keep in mind these key things. Anything that comes from the division, open it immediately. Sometimes there are time restrictions that need to be followed up on a certain date. You don't want to be fined for something just because you put that letter in your pile to look at later. Another thing to remember is that this demographic report is always going to be due by August 1st of every given year. There are no substitutions on this. You may submit this ahead of schedule if you like. However, anything submitted after the deadline will result in further action by the division, which can potentially include fees. So do not procrastinate. Another thing, the more organized you are in this and the other documentation with the park, this will benefit you down the road. Keep your records up to date and accurate, and we'll just make it an easier transition for you. Lastly, since the template is so large, our office requires this to be mailed. We will not accept a mailed copy of this. It will make it easier to review that at that time. As stated before, once done, please submit a copy to the division's main email, which is nhdinfo@housing.nv.gov. So this pretty much wraps up the presentation. I want to thank you all for watching our video. However, if you have further questions, you may reach out to our office by one of the following methods. As you see, we have added a new email which can be used for general inquiries regarding park information. Another good source for information is Manufactured Home Community Owners, also known as MHCO. I've included their information as well. Eric is the new executive director over there and is very helpful. And last but not least, is there any questions that anybody has at this time that's on this conference call? None? Okay. So if there's any other questions or concerns regarding compliance, I've also added the details for our investigators below. We have one in the north and one in the south. And you can find their information right there. And that's pretty much the end of this presentation. And I thank you guys for all watching. And I hope you guys have a good rest of the day if you don't have any other further questions. I didn't hear you, Kate. Sorry. I saw your mouth moving.
Thank you very much, Krista.
Of course. So no questions. Just want to double check. We're all good. And we'll be getting this out shortly to everyone so they can get an idea of what to expect. And hopefully in the near future, we'll get this uploaded to our site so it has a recording with CC involved. And shortly after that, we'll also be giving the demographics out in a mass email to all the park tenants. So just be aware of that, like the county assessor's offices. You might be getting quite a few questions on this, and I tried to make it as simple as possible. But if you have any further questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. All right. Hope you guys have a good rest of the day.
You too. Thank you.